Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Steven's Sausage Roll for another day of me being just absolutely terrified by every puzzle that is placed in front of me. We can climb up here. Let's see what this puzzle looks like. There's still a lot of puzzles in this area that we have not looked at even one single time. Okay, so this is a puzzle about using one of these sausages to transport the other one to the place we need to get it to, right? But we have to figure out what it looks to me. What it looks like to me is that we want to. Oh, okay, yeah. That ladder is there in the real world. It's not part of the puzzle, but yeah, it'll allow us down in the real world. It looks to me like this is about putting this thing down here and rolling the other sausage over it. Probably like it's easy enough. We would want this on the left half, right? It's easy enough to just... How do I do this? So if I get on this and I press up, it's going to roll downward. Oh, that's right. The other sausage won't come with us as long as one part of it is on a solid object. We know that. Okay, so now I go up. And up, and that should really do it, right? And then I can hit up again and roll downward. Okay, and then we can use this one as a bridge to get back. I was like, oh no, it's one of these puzzles where the sausages are not the hard part. But actually, no, this is very doable. So we just put this here, and then... Yeah. Okay, starting the day off with a win. That feels pretty alright. Yeah, it's interesting that that was so far away from where the area started, because I would argue that that's probably the easiest puzzle we've seen in this bit so far. Let me be facing the other way with my fork when I come down here. I guess it doesn't really matter because I have to turn to move up anyway. You know, the sidestep is actually really valuable. I hadn't really been thinking about that. But when we have a sausage skewered, the fact that we can move sideways is a big deal, it turns out. Okay, this is more complicated for sure. How do I do... How do we do this? Well, I guess... There's enough room on those grills to have the two fully cooked vertical sausages and then just roll the horizontal sausage down in the remaining two spaces. The problem is, how do we get them onto the right parts of the grill in the first place, right? And I think the answer to this question probably has a little something to do with having one of them rolling on top of another one. Like this is a transport puzzle for sure. So if we push a... This is going to be a good opportunity for drawing. If we push a sausage... yeah. So what I'm thinking for sure is... There we go. Okay. Sorry. So if we get them set up so that we have one of the vertical sausages with the horizontal sausage laid on top of it like we just did, we can do that thing again, right, where we roll the vertical sausage across so it ends up here fully cooked. And the second move that fully cooks it drops the horizontal sausage off right there, and then we could just roll that downward. But how would I, like... Standing right here, having Steven in this space with the fork over here, if I turn downward, this will get cooked, but this will get overcooked. I guess if I'm on top of this sausage, because I just finished rolling it, I can just step over onto this one and roll it as well. Or wait. Okay, we have to test something. Let me, Get that off the screen. Okay. Yeah, does that work? Because we know from a little bit of experience in a previous puzzle that we cannot step off of a sausage onto another sausage that is what do you call it? Oh, I think I did this wrong. Well, we can't step off of a sausage onto another sausage that is aligned parallel to it. But I don't know whether we can do that with one that is aligned perpendicular. So let's try to figure it out. How do I want to do like kind of the opposite thing here. I want to push this way. Because the problem with that previous arrangement was that I could not reach the ladder anymore. I think it should be okay to just... just come down here, push this over manually. Okay. So now this will allow me to walk onto here. Yes, I can... It's worth noting that once I have stepped onto a sausage where I'm rolling it... So this is the setup we'd be talking about in that solution I was drawing, or at least it's a mirror of it. And it does not work because if I press left to try to walk onto the other sausage, it just rolls this sausage. Problem. Another thing I want to try while we have half a setup here. I can't imagine this won't work the way I expect, but let's test it. I still need to knock this down because I need to stop on that height. Okay, here we go. Yes, you can roll multiple sausages by rolling one into another. I wasn't 100%... No, I guess we were doing that in that other puzzle, weren't we? Anyway, clarity's good. Okay, so... I cannot do this by just transporting a sausage across so that we end up with this like vertical and us on top of the vertical one and a horizontal one over here, because there's no way to change sausages. You can only walk off of a sausage that you are on top of when you are moving in the same direction. You have to be moving on the same axis that it is laying on. But I guess if I had it fall here instead, we could just walk off onto this thing. And in fact, that's almost certainly what this rise is for, right? And then we walk up onto the sausage. And yeah. Okay, so... So what I want to do is get the vertical sausage onto the bottom half of one of these. How do I do this? And also, how do I cook both of the vertical sausages? The horizontal sausage needs to end up on the bottom square, the southern square of one of these two. And then also, I actually do need to cook both of them without pushing one a third time, which is decidedly non-trivial. Because I can't really imagine how to do either of those things, actually. Like, for real, how would I get the horizontal sausage onto the southern half of one of the other sausages and also still be able to, like, walk around down there and end up on top of the vertical one? So we have this space that's built into the puzzle above the grills, those two squares there, that I don't currently have a plan for. But I bet they're important somehow. There's very little extra in these puzzles, right? Like you have exactly the number of squares on the floor that you need a lot of the time. So and in a way that's a way of managing puzzle difficulty, of keeping difficulty down. So this ladder here, hold on a second. Here's something I want to test. This ladder only goes down one square, I think. Which means that if I put this here, okay. So I can do this. That's interesting. Maybe I have this backwards. Am I supposed to... Am I supposed to move the vertically aligned sausages down onto this one? It's easy enough to roll that down and get it cooked. It would be... If I had one of the vertically aligned sausages on the right half, the eastern half of this sausage, then I could roll it down, have the vertically aligned sausage end up on the raised platform. But I wouldn't be able to step off of the horizontal sausage because of the way that works. Attempting to walk down onto the ledge would simply roll the sausage upward away from the ledge. So that's an element of these sausage rolling puzzles that I'm going to have to get through my head, is that actually once you get onto a sausage, it can be very difficult to get off. Because the area of the gratings is rectangular, there's no version of this where like we slide a sausage along on the grating. Because every version of that will overcook it. Pardon me. Something's going to have to get pushed all the way onto that furthest right grill, I'm sure. But it is not clear to me how that's going to occur. Also, the soundtrack for this game is bizarre. It's got to be the case that we're using the vertical sausages and then stepping downward off of the vertical sausages onto the raised ground south of the grills, right? That's the only way that we could access that. That's the only way that could be part of the puzzle. And it makes a lot of sense to me that if we could get that sausage, the horizontal sausage, into that position, that's a good way to finish the puzzle. What is not clear to me is how we would cook both of the vertically aligned sausages in that situation, even if we did have a good way of getting the horizontally aligned sausage into the spot that we want it in, which currently we do not. So game's got a dedicated day-night cycle. Very important. Very impressive stuff. What if... What if I built a tower 3 high? Hold on. I'm just gonna think with my hands here for a second. Y'all don't mind, I hope. What if it's something like this? If I pushed that one further forward, and then... hold on. Well, hold on. That's not a good idea. What if I push this to here? If I do this, there's no way to ever... Oh, right. The other sausage won't come with us due to it being on top of a... I am absolutely just messing around at this point. Don't really have a plan. But see, now we can set this up so that it's... Nope. So that it's on this top sausage and it doesn't... it doesn't have any part of it on top of the platform. So now... Yeah, I can't get off of the thing. I can get onto this one, but that really doesn't help me that much. I was thinking if I could freely mount and dismount the sausages, if I could like roll this back up here and then get off of it to the north, come down, roll that bottom sausage forward. Then we have the 2 horizontal sausages, in theory, with just their bottom halves able to be cooked on the 2 grills next to each other, and they could just be rolled once and be finished. I don't know. The way they would end up, though, the positions they would end up in wouldn't allow for the cooking of the horizontal sausage anyway. I'm gonna bow out of this one for the moment. That's an interesting puzzle. I do not know what to do with it yet. We'll come back. I find with these sorts of things, it's usually helpful to... Okay, well here it seems pretty obvious that you want to cook the vertical sausage first and then just roll it off into the little alcove there. It usually seems pretty helpful to just find the ones that you can do intuitively, do all of them, because each puzzle you do may potentially teach you something of value. Okay, so this is one where we need to use the horizontal sausage to roll the vertical sausage onto the grill such that it falls down into place with its north half and its bottom half both already on the grill. And I think the way we're going to do that is with a stab, actually. Right, it's something like... Well, hold on. Sorry, it's something like this. And then you have to position these correctly. So if it's slid, it will... Yeah, I think this is fine. Right, and roll this around the center. Oh, wait, hold on. No, I can't do that, though, because I need this thing to be further south. And once I slide its top off like that, I will never be able to get it far enough south ever again. Okay, a situation like this, right? And now you roll this down once. Shoot. Need to make sure that I am not remaining underneath the sausage. Down once, and then... No, I need this to be... Let me rewind. There we go. We need it to be there. Walk around. Do not disturb the thing. Okay, so now when we push it down, it'll roll forward and deposit... Oh, except I do need it to be on the other side. There we go. Now when we push it down, it'll drop it onto the grill all at once. We just do one of these and one of those, and now it's out of the way. And we can do the simple thing with this one. There we go. That's just a matter of, like, the most basic version of combining the skills we've learned so far, right? I don't think stabbing's not going to help us with that puzzle that's in the top right of our screen right now. But it is interesting. But yeah, so we're going to look at each one of these before we get stuck on any one of them for too long. We're going to look at each one of these, try to learn whatever we can from it. So there's a position up there where with a stabbed, horizontally oriented sausage, I could get some work done pretty quickly. How do I get these things both where they need to go? We're going to have to use one of them as a bridge to move the other one across, and then we're going to have to do the same thing in the other direction, right? We're going to have to take the already cooked sausage and use it as a bridge. So... Oh, wait, but... Once I've pushed a sausage down, it's actually not trivial to get it back up. We have a ladder. So, like, in theory, a sausage pushed down into the middle here could be brought back up. So the idea is, because we know this is the one that we want to stab later, we use this to form a bridge. It doesn't really matter which... No, in order for this to be recoverable, we're going to have to cook it half at a time, because I never want it to be hanging off of the platform, right? But we can do this thing safely. And now it never leaves recoverability, and we get all 4 of the bits figured out here. And then we just push this to... I don't know that it actually matters where. Like, here's fine, I think. Right, sideways. Okay, there we go. So, cook a half, pull it off the fork, and then roll it. Yeah. Easy. We are in the stab but also roll portion of the island. The cold ladder. Oh, this is really interesting. Because we are not going to... Once we've stepped onto this, it's impossible... The sausages are preventing us from accessing the ladder. But once we've stepped on here, we can't get back up. Or rather, we can, but it'll be a complicated process, right? It'll be something like... Roll this down. And then... Okay, so we can step off of that thing as long as it's all the way against the wall where the rolling would happen. And then we need to... Gosh, how do we do this? Because we're going to have to use some kind of trickery to get this horizontal sausage cooked, right? These two cook very easily since there's only 2 grills. But I'm going to have to... What is the trickery that I'm engaging in here? It's not going to involve a stab, right? Because there's no way for me to get the sausage off once it's stabbed. Like, I need to get that horizontal sausage on top of one of the vertical ones is the thing that jumps to mind immediately. But I don't have any way to cause it to gain height aside from stabbing it and climbing the ladder, which I couldn't do anyway because the ladder's not... Well, I could probably do it if I stabbed the sausage from the north, right? That probably works. So, how do I... If I'm clever about this, I can rearrange things both vertically and horizontally, right? But I have to be very careful not to make anything impossible to retrieve. So I push that to there. No, because once I've stepped onto one of the vertical sausages, there's no way for me to get back on the horizontal sausage without like a wall, a situation like this, where I could create a situation where the vertical sausage cannot roll horizontally anymore, and we simply do not have the what do you call it, the vertically oriented walls in this puzzle to make that work. So, okay, maybe there's a different solution. Maybe it is not possible. Like, how do I get on the floor? Really, the question here is mostly one of how do I not be on top of these sausages all of the time? But maybe there's just not a way. Yeah, I guess, okay. Because of this tile right here, I don't necessarily need to get the horizontally oriented sausage on top of the vertical ones. We could create a situation where the horizontal sausage is here and then just roll it up twice. How do we do that? Is there a complicated rolling pattern that allows me to do that? Because we know that we can sort of disengage these things from each other. But again, or we're going to run into the problem that once I have gotten onto a horizontal sausage, I cannot ever get off of it. Every one of our possible solutions has this issue. It's like if you could roll this to here and then somehow continue to roll it sideways. See, like this, I can step onto here and I can push these that way. But yeah, I can't get the horizontal sausage like underneath the vertically aligned sausages to allow it to allow us to roll it upward, pushing the vertical sausages upward. It's just very difficult to. It must be something like that, though, right? There must be a way to maneuver these around each other such that I can use the sausages to reposition them to each other, because there is no way. But is the ladder a red herring? Like, if we could get off of the sausages in some way, that would be it. That would be the puzzle. It's actually trivial if we can get our feet on the ground. Maybe I'm giving up on that idea too easily because there is a ladder here. But how would I ever get the horizontally aligned sausage into a position? Because the thing is, even if we got the horizontally aligned sausage below one of the vertically aligned sausages, attempting to press up to get onto the vertically aligned sausage such that we could walk off of it onto the raised platform would just cause the horizontally aligned sausage to roll downward like that. And there's no way for us to set up a backstop to prevent that from happening because there are no surfaces on the south side of this platform. No, I'm unsure how to approach that one for the moment, so we're just going to keep moving. There are a lot of puzzles in this area. I didn't even notice that little rock. I was like, why can't I move over here? Oh. Well, that's nightmarish. Wait, is it? Oh my gosh, come on. All right, sorry about that. Little UI problem. Hold on. Is this actually really easy and I'm making it too complicated in my head? Oh, the problem is I need to get on top of a sausage to be able to access that ladder. That's... Sure, that's a problem. So I need both of these down. But... Hold on, this isn't going to work. Yeah, actually, this is problematic already. I can't turn the fork downward because we just dismount. So I can't even step. How do I even get that sausage? It sure feels like the answer here involves having something stabbed. It's like I was saying, if we could just sidestep, this would be no problem, right? This one is actually maybe very challenging. Way more so than I thought. Oh, no, I'm just being silly, right? Like the actual answer is you don't want a bridge, you want to roll this. Well, no, because I need that ladder. Getting up on that platform wouldn't actually be helpful. So it won't let me walk up the ladder backwards. I have to walk up the ladder with the fork facing either left or right. I can't move if I turn the fork upward here. And I can't turn the fork downward because attempting to do so causes me to walk down the ladder. So it is impossible to get on the sausage in this situation. What does that leave me with? Maybe there's a move here that I haven't figured out. Maybe there's a way to get sausages to move sideways while you are on top of them. Sure doesn't seem like it, and, you know, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. But without something like that, I actually don't see how this puzzle is solvable. I don't see how you could even begin to. So there's definitely some kind of like core bit of understanding I don't have here. That's kind of exciting because it means that figuring out this puzzle is probably going to help a lot with the other ones. What is it that I do? The other... maybe I'm just being very silly, actually, and the answer is right here. If you can't do it with the one ladder, you just do it with the other ladder. Okay. Sorry, that's right. I need to get up here like this. Okay. Now that that's done... How do I do this part? Because I need to be able to walk up a ladder onto one of these things and then onto... up that third ladder, right? It can't be a case of... It can't be a case of one sausage being here and the other one being here. And then I walk up this ladder and get on there. Because if I try to do this, pressing down while I'm on this sausage would just cause it to roll into the ocean with me on top of it, killing us both. I can... Ooh, but if I did this, I could step upward, rolling them both down. Then I could... No, never mind. I was like, I could get on the sausage from there because there's a backstop. But no, if I press upward, they don't roll because of the backstop. And if I press downward, this one just rolls into the wrong spot again. Okay. Well, obviously we can't just have a bridge that we walk across like this, because if the second sausage is in this position, how do I get up there? Oh, but I could... hold on. It's a little tedious as ever to like move around here. I'm not allowed to just walk off of platforms. Make my life a little bit easier if I could. Okay, let's do this. There we go. That's how we will move that to the off of the wall. No, this doesn't work. I was gonna say I could get up on this western one, get on, and then press down to roll it upward. But first of all, I can't even dismount it because, again, if we press up, it's just going to roll back down. Secondly, it's not in position where I could walk across it onto the other one anyway. Like, in order for me to be able to press up and climb this ladder with the sausage in this position, the other sausage has to be blocking. It has to be forming the backstop, right? And if that's the case, in order for that to be the case... they have to be like this, or this one could instead be over slightly. It could be in these two tiles. But in any case, I can't actually... How do I end up on top of the sausages while they are in that position? Maybe it's... Wait, could it possibly involve stacking them? No, probably not, because I have no way of doing that actually. Well, no, I have no way of doing that because this sausage can't be knocked down onto the other one. It's always going to fall here, and the other one is naturally in these two spaces in order to allow you to walk up the ladder. So, no, it's definitely not that. And I can't stack them after the fall because of the position of literally everything. There's no way to like stab one of them and carry it up onto the other one because there's no way to scrape it off after the stab. So it's not about stacking one sausage on another, positioning them, and then rolling the top one off. It is definitely about finding a way to do a backstop move here. I just don't... How, though? It would be fine for this sausage to be in these two columns if the other sausage is in this space, so as to provide the backstop. But I don't think that helps at all. I mean, it's certainly, if anything, it makes it less possible for me to get on top of them. And we cannot move these things horizontally while we are on them. So how do I... How do I? I gotta be honest with y'all, I'm feeling a mite flummoxed here. Just the tiniest little bit, you understand. There is no position that I cannot get these things to down here on the ground just with basic fork maneuvering. If I'm gonna get up on top of one of these, though, we have very few options. It has to be something that is available from one of the two first level ladder platforms. I guess, hold on. Let me try to test something. There's something I'm curious about, something I feel like I don't understand the working of. That's right. Pressing, yeah, never mind. I'm like, the thing I'm kind of curious about is whether you can whether you can climb a ladder off of a sausage without rolling the sausage, because you are executing a side step rather than a normal step, and I'm wondering if that's like the key. Yeah, there's no way for me to test it, though. I can't use, I'm pressing up right now and trying to use the force of me pressing the fork against the cliff to shove my body southward. But it's, remarkably, it's not working. It's not functional. It's almost like that's not the plan. That's not, sorry, I don't want to do like an actual reset. I just want to pull this sausage back away from the wall. So how would we can, in theory, get onto a sausage that is in, like, we can step onto this column, and this column. Which means that the sausage could be as far as this far to the right. It can't be any more left than these two together, though, right? Yeah, I guess technically I'm able to get onto the sausage if it is in this position exactly. But aside from that, well, I guess if I put it over here, we could get on top of it. But the utility of that is exceedingly limited. So I'm going to have to be on top of the sausage to access the ladder. If we were to place this sausage in that position, then a sausage in these two columns, columns 2 and 3, gets us contact. But there's no way to get onto it. And once again, it seems like it almost must be the case that we can move a sausage sideways while standing on top of it. Otherwise, I don't see how the puzzle is completable. And I wonder if maybe I am just like missing a maneuver. But it doesn't seem like it. There doesn't seem to be a way to... Yeah. So the columns that the sausage that we are on top of is in... The columns, yeah, the columns that sausage is in are the columns that it is going to stay in. How do I make that work? Part of me is actually kind of bummed out that pressing upward in this situation doesn't cause a movement. Not that it would be relevant to the puzzle if it did, it's weird, right? It feels like that should make the sausage I'm on roll southward or something. Alright. There's one more in this area. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Cold sausage. Well, that's the entire problem, isn't it? Okay, so this is going to be a matter of using this sausage to ferry other sausages elsewhere. I guess it could be like... Oh. No, the gap is a big deal, huh? Yeah, the gap is actually a huge problem. How many... Because it's easy enough to cook a sausage that falls onto the middle area of this thing. But, like, you're going to run into problems. Right about here. And I can, in theory, create other sausages that I can step onto. But we can only move off of sausages on the axis that they're laying on. So, like... And anything that falls onto the grill early is doomed. Stuff has to fall into the grill both halves at the same time, which means only in this row. And so, like, once we're here, we're fucked. Even if there was a sausage to my left, which we could absolutely set up, we're fucked because we can step onto that, but then all we can do once we step onto that is roll it. So I guess so the idea is you have to set these up ahead of time. Okay, no, actually this is doable. So we're gonna put this here and you're gonna roll this one up, step onto this, roll that like that, and then what? Because I can roll one of these, but it doesn't actually help. It doesn't solve the puzzle. I couldn't get onto a sausage that's anywhere except the middle from that move. So... And if we put this... Like if I step over onto this sausage, I can't move up or down. Ah, but if there was a sausage... Okay, I see. I get it. I was thinking there can't possibly be another sausage in the first rank because how would we ever cook it? Right? I can't roll downward, and if I roll upward, I'm leaving it in the wrong spot. But the answer is we come back for it later. Because we roll this down here, and that allows me to step onto that. And that, incidentally, is also the only way we can ever get back onto the platform. So I didn't carry any of my lines of thinking far enough into the puzzle there to realize the necessity of there being a second sausage in the first two columns. Because if I had, I would have figured that out in two different ways. Okay, well, I mean, listen, it's a puzzle completion. That's something, right? That's something to go out on. Our sausages cooked per puzzle. It's fallen quite dramatically, huh? But I think that's just the nature of the beast. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When y'all return next time, there's still a couple more puzzles in this area to check out before we have seen everything. And then we're going to be, once we're into doubling back mode, if I haven't learned something pretty significant, I am worried we might be in some serious trouble here. I might just be the tiniest bit stuck on a dozen different puzzles at once. Ugh. Anyway, come back next time for definitely more solutions, for sure. And we'll see you then.